What's going on, people? This is Shok, and obviously I want to talk about the grand reveal, finally, of this goddamn Nintendo NX, now known as the Nintendo Switch. Let's start off with the actual name, because of course when you saw the video get put up on YouTube, the first thing you saw was, oh, it's called the Switch now. Do I like the name? I don't necessarily like it, but I don't necessarily dislike it either. I'll say that. I think the name is okay. It could have been much worse. Okay, it could have been Wii U, for instance. So the name, it's not that bad. You could work with it. I don't think it's very catchy. It doesn't necessarily roll off the tongue, at least not yet. But maybe it will grow on us. Maybe we'll like it. We'll like saying it or whatever. But so right now, I think it's okay. Now the actual trailer itself, I thought it was really well done. They drove the concept home. I'm glad they didn't spend any time with any silly skits out of what was going to be only a 3-minute video. Thank you, Nintendo, for being very direct and concise to the point. I think anyone watching that trailer can perfectly understand what that system does, what it's all about, the concept. That was good. That is how you need to market that thing. Matter of fact, that should just be a commercial. Just play clips of that commercial on TV. You're good. And have some narration over it, so with a voice, just to make sure people freaking get it. You know what I mean? So the presentation itself, very good, very clear, very concise. I don't know how anyone can misconstrue that. I don't know how anyone can be confused about that at all. Seemed pretty simple and obvious what the hell that thing was doing to me. Physical system itself, I think it looks really slick. I like my systems in black. I always get my systems in black if there's an option. It looks very sleek, the mat and everything, the controller and the actual dock itself. Let me see if I can pull up a picture here real fast. Oh, and it's confirmed that NVIDIA is powering the Switch. Okay, I just saw that article on my Facebook timeline. But yeah, it looks super slick. I like the way it looks. It kind of has like the gray black thing going on. I love that. I love that color scheme so much. So aesthetically, I think both the controller and the system itself looks very pleasing. Now the actual concept, I like it. And I said this. I'm not switching up. I'm being consistent. I do like this concept, and I said this in. It wasn't the last video I did, because I remember the last two videos I did kind of random, but I'm pretty sure the last two videos I did were Overwatch gameplay videos, which has nothing to do with Nintendo. But yeah, the Nintendo NX leaks, good stuff or bad news. That video, July 26, 2016. I said that if this system is a hybrid, I actually like that idea, and mainly because that means that we're going to get the handheld library with the console library together. And in that I said, so what this means that even if Nintendo if it still doesn't get third-party support, hey, we're still going to get games that would otherwise be exclusive to the handheld on this system. So the drops aren't going to be nowhere close to being as bad as they were, with the Wii U. And guys, if you think about all the awesome third-party games, and Nintendo games as well, first-party games that are on the DS and 3DS, and just imagine if all these games were developed for a console as well. That's a lot of games, and that's a lot of quality games too. If you think about all the exclusive, like Kingdom Hearts and Monster Hunter, that was one of the main examples. I finally get to play Monster Hunter on the TV again with this thing. That's awesome. I don't have to play Monster Hunter on handhelds anymore. Pokemon's gonna be on the main screen. They even made a exclusive, Assassin's Creed and Ninja Gaiden, for the original, DS and stuff like that. We're gonna get the Fire Emblems and the Advance Wars and the Kid Icaruses and all this stuff. And since this console has a handheld component, Japan loves the handheld, so pretty much I almost said Wii U. Let's forget about that. Since it has this handheld component and it's essentially it is a handheld system and a console in one, Japan is going to eat this system up, meaning all the Japanese developers are going to be on board. So all the Japanese support awesome Japanese support that we've seen on the handhelds. I mean, even the Vita got some pretty good Japanese support. Imagine all those Japanese developers, all those Japanese games that would otherwise be handheld are now going to be turned into console games. That's good. That's great. That's dope. I love the concept. I like the fact that you could take it anywhere. They show that you could even take it on an airplane. You could play it in your car. That's cool. And before, of course, this reveal came out, whatever, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this concept sounds just like what Sony's been doing with the Vita." No, the Vita requires a connection, right, to your home console or whatever, unless it was a port of a game that's on the same system, like Mortal Kombat, something like that. But the Vita required a connection, a Wi-Fi connection, or something like that. This requires no connection because the system itself is the actual handheld that you take with you. Um, so all that aside, along with what also another thing I said in that video I did in July, this does come with some potential, at least potential downsides, but I'd say probably likely downsides, and that's two things. One, the power of the system. Unless the docking station for when you're plugging into your TV has some extra power, I can't imagine this thing being too powerful. And yeah, if it has the correct architecture, it can still get third-party support. Yes, that is true. But it will still probably miss out on some games here and there if it's not powerful enough. Because even if you do have an architecture that's easy to port for or whatever, it still takes money, time, and resources to scale something down in a large degree. You see what I mean? So some third-party developers still might be discouraged from putting their games on the system if it's still too weak. And if, again, the docking station doesn't add to the power, I can't see the system being terribly powerful. So that's the first thing. And then two, the battery life. I can't imagine the battery life being too hot either. And these two things kind of, conflict with each other. Because if it's going to be extra powerful, that could mean that it's going to have a shitty battery life. If it has a great battery life, it could mean that it's not going to be very powerful. You see what I mean? Because that's how hardware works, people. If you're going to have a really strong aspect in one regard when it comes to a portable device, usually there's going to be shortcuts taken in other regards and other aspects of that hardware. You see what I mean? Who knows? Maybe Nintendo got a great deal. That a lot of rumors did say Nintendo got a great deal. We'll see. But usually that's how this thing works. It's usually not like, oh, this is great, this is great, this is great, this is great. If you have a system where like everything in it is just freaking great, there's not a single weak spot, it's going to be expensive. You see what I mean? But who knows? Maybe we get a good balance. Maybe we get decent power, decent battery life. It's definitely possible. Mobile technology has advanced a lot over the years, a lot, especially the GPUs. And Nvidia is powering this thing up, and I know Nvidia has some fairly powerful mobile chips these days. So we'll see what happens. But do I like it? Yeah, I like it a lot. Really, my only problem with this reveal is the fact that it's exactly what Eurogamer and everyone else has been saying this whole time. And like I'm trying not to complain because finally we know what the hell it is, right? I'm okay with just a 3-minute teaser. I'm sure they're gonna be doing an actual direct next week before their investors meeting or something like that, or after, who knows. But my only problem with this reveal is that, right? Okay, look, you wait all this time, dead silent. You haven't said jack squat diddly crap, right? Keeping everyone in suspense, people going mad. The Nintendo fan base was going so insane. You had people thinking Papa John's was going to announce the system. That is not a joke. I shit you not. People thought Papa John's was going to reveal the NX. Because of a tweet they made where they showed this black box and they said like something new was coming or something like that. And people were like, oh, is this the Nintendo NX? Like, oh God. Nintendo fans were losing their minds. That's how quiet Nintendo was. Any little thing anybody did, people were like, NX? Is Hillary Clinton going to announce the NX at the debate? Like, stuff like that was going on. Right? So, basically, the point, I know I'm kind of rambling, but the point I'm making is, when you hold people in suspense for that long, it makes you think like, okay, this is something that's going to come out of left field we're not going to expect, right? It's going to be something crazy. You see what I'm saying? But Nintendo, surely you've seen all these leaks and rumors coming out, over these past 2 months and all these weeks and stuff. If I saw all these correct rumors coming out, I'd be like, guys, let's go ahead and reveal it. Because now with all these rumors and leaks that have all been saying the same thing, we've been led to believe that this is exactly what the NX is going to be. So now that the reveal has actually arrived, we're not really surprised. You see what I mean? Because it's already been heavily hinted at and linked. Yes, it's all technically been rumors, but we really haven't had any rumors that have contradicted what the original Eurogamer rumor actually said. Imagine how great that would have been to see at E3 in June. That would have been awesome, but you waited so long, Nintendo, to where you allowed the surprise to be spoiled. That's my only gripe regarding this reveal. It's a pretty big one, but it's whatever. I'm just glad the rumors could be put to rest. I'll say that. Not trying to end this on a negative note or anything. This is mostly positive. I like the system. I like the way it looks. They showcased a lot of third-party support. They were really smart on doing that. Like, they showed, yes, some Mario Kart and Mario, but most of the video was third-party support and some very mainstream third-party games as well. Good job on that. That was smart. They also released. Did I already show you guys that? No, I didn't. They also released a list of third-party developers that are supporting the system. They got Atlas on board, Activision, Bethesda, Bandai Namco, Capcom, From Software. That's surprising. EA. They got Level 5, Konami, Take-Two, Ubisoft's on board, Warner Brothers, so Square Enix. So they have some pretty solid support here. It's going to be interesting. These next few months, these next few weeks actually are going to be very, very interesting. Because now that the system has actually been revealed, we're going to see a landslide of information. Even if it doesn't come from Nintendo, like Emily Router is going to be going ham, Game Explain is going to be going ham, everyone's going to be going crazy with their sources. This is going to be some very, very interesting few weeks and months here, up until the release of the system. But based off what I've seen, I like it. I could see myself thoroughly enjoying this, despite the fact that I actually hate the Wii U, and I think it's probably the worst system, mainstream system. I'm not talking about systems that came out from some weird company and only sold like 1 million units and that was it. It's a novelty little niche thing, whatever. I'm not talking about that, but that sounds a lot like the Wii U actually. But one of the things I do like about the Wii U, I always liked about the Wii U, the one great thing it had going for it was the fact that I could play my video games in bed. Because sometimes when it's late at night, I don't feel like sitting in my chair looking at a bright screen, playing. I'm kind of tired, but not sleepy, right? So I don't want to go to sleep. But I want to just kind of like lay down and game. And I'm glad I'll be able to continue that with the Switch, right? I won't have to sit up in a chair looking at a big TV or whatever. I can just take my games to my bed, chill and play. And now I can take them on the go, which is also really cool for me because hopefully I get this starting soon. But you guys know me, I go to tournaments or whatever for Prep Them and stuff, and I want to start traveling for that. And even when I'm not traveling, when I'm doing the local tournaments here, I go to the venue, whatever, I can take my stuff with me. I can take my games with me, play it wherever. That's cool. That's dope. Without an internet connection, without a separate device, it's one device, cartridges, bam. I love the fact that this system is using cartridges because that's going to mean faster load times and stuff like that. Don't have to worry about stuff getting scratched. Although if you're not a dumbass, your disc is going to get scratched in the first place. Only thing is, it will be easier to lose your games. So watch your cartridges and make sure you put them back in their goddamn cases, people. Please. But yeah, I do like the fact that it's using cartridges. I like the aesthetic of the system. The two separate controllers like break off the screen. You can use them as like little Wiimote sideways type of concept going on. I think that'll be okay for certain games. I can't really see that being supported for the majority of games because I just don't see how, one, that could be comfortable for a long period of time, and two, I don't see how that could be enough buttons for most games. I'm sure that'll be good enough for like a Mario game and Mario Kart. They showed Mario Kart being played with that. Yeah, those are simple enough games. They only require like 2 buttons really. 2, 3. But outside of that, I really can't see those separate controllers being used for actual complex games or rather normal games. You know what I mean? But I think it looks cool. I think this system could be huge if Nintendo handles it correctly. This could be turned into a thing where you're walking around, you see everybody with these things in these public settings and environments. You go, to a hotel, to a McDonald's, wherever you see people playing their Switches. I believe that can happen. Because one, it's essentially a Nintendo handheld, but two, it's also a home console. So it's something that, because when you're taking a handheld with you, right? You have handheld experiences on that handheld, right? But these are actual full-blown console games. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be different. It is different because most of the time, there's handheld tailored games on handhelds. Duh, that makes sense. But these are going to be console games. These are going to be huge, open world games. These are going to be beautiful games. These are going to be the games that we play on our TV that you're able to take with you and play anywhere on the go. And that can be huge. Like I said, when I go to my tournament places, other people could bring, their Switch, while we're waiting for matches or whatever, their Switches, and we could just set them down. We could all play, a multiplayer game together without requiring a TV. That's dope. That's really cool. Oh, another thing I forgot to talk about. The Pro Controller, the new Pro Controller, I love it. It looks so comfortable. I did like how the two thumbsticks are at the top on the Wii U's Pro Controller, but I also do like the Xbox configuration as well, so I don't mind that at all. Sony's is actually my least favorite, but both sticks at the bottom, I don't like that. I like it staggered, or I like them both at the top. That's how I prefer it. But that thing looks mad comfortable. It looks really cool, and of course you can use that with the system's portable form as well. So if you don't want to use it in the tablet form or break it off and get the centerpiece and use that form, which actually doesn't look that bad, you can also take the Pro Controller with you, so that's good. So yeah, mostly positive. My only two concerns is system power, because that determines third-party support, and of course how well the games will perform, run, all that, pop in, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and battery life. Those are my only two concerns. If those things are good, I'm good. After the Wii U, I survived the Wii U. I can survive anything at this point. It can only go up from there, right? Right, Nintendo? Please don't prove me wrong. But I like what I see. This could potentially be great. This could be a huge thing if Nintendo markets this correctly. If they handle this correctly, I believe this could possibly be as big as the Wii. And with less of the novelty, temporary hype factor. Like I believe this thing could be huge if they handle it correctly, and it gets the majority of third-party support. One last thing I was about to end it there. Another thing I just thought about. Even if the system isn't up to par with like exactly on par with the PS4, it should be. I'm not saying it'd be okay if it wasn't, but it should be at least as strong as the PS4. But don't know because you got the small handheld factor. We'll see. It depends on the docking station if that has its own processors in it. But this is going to be one of the few times where getting a third-party game on Nintendo system, although it's the weaker system, would actually make a lot of sense, because it's like, do I want the prettier version of this game, or do I want the version of the game I could play anywhere? And if Nintendo capitalizes on that thought, think about that, people. Even if the system is weaker and the third-party games don't look as good as they do on Xbox One or PS4, they should. They should at least be as strong as the Xbox One, definitely. There are plenty of mobile processors that are as strong as the Xbox One. But even if it's not, there's still the thing of, do I want to buy this on PS4 for a better-looking game, which isn't too big, or do I want to get it on the Switch so I can play it anywhere at any time? So this system actually gives you a reason to consider getting the Nintendo version of a third-party game, and that can be huge. Nintendo has a potential game changer here. Nintendo, don't fuck this up. That's it, this video, y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later.